Hey YouTubers, welcome for Coffee with Mike. I'm having a lot of problems with my my pod thingy. It was made in China, so it fell apart. I would rather pay $100 for a stand for my phone to mount on my window that actually works properly, that actually works properly, and that actually functions properly. I don't know how to. Yeah, I would pay big money for that. I would. There's a lot of things I pay big money for that I don't have to, so I don't have to buy 45 times. Anyways, I want to talk about something, and it's about like Australianism, Canadianism, New Zealandism. Now, with America, it's a little bit different. So, I need you guys. I got a question for you guys, and I want to ask you guys this. Okay? All right. Growing up in Canada. When I was little, like little, I'm talking about grade 3, grade 4, I was labeled as a Portuguese. That's just how it is. That's why I keep bringing up, because that's what I am. People are like, no, you're a Portuguese. You're not Canadian. You're a Portuguese. First generation Portuguese or whatever, right? Okay, no problem. Everybody had their either Italian or Portuguese, Spanish, whatever, but nobody was ever labeled a Canadian growing up. Nobody, oh, you're a Canadian, right? And when I was growing up in Canada, it was predominantly European. And things were very different in Canada back then. Holy smokes. And so what happened was, okay, I'm in the States, okay? And you meet an Arab guy, you meet a Mexican, you meet a Caucasian guy, you meet anybody. You ask them, oh, what's your background? I'm American. You see what I'm saying? Big difference. You can tell anybody what they are, ask them what they are, and they're all Americans. And here's the problem, guys, and this is what I want to ask you guys. Why is it in Canada nobody is the culture? Nobody that's not from here isn't considered a Canadian, even though they have Canadian documents and passports and blah blah blah. Why is that, guys? I've always wondered that. Why is there always a problem when somebody that's not born and raised in second, third generation Canadian? Why aren't they considered Canadian? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I never understood. Even to this day, I am a Portuguese, because that's the way I was labeled growing up, and that was the way, being in school. Like, I mean, being in Ontario when I was a teenager, if you're Portuguese, watch out. The police don't like you. Nobody likes you. Nobody hires you. So my question is, I guess, is it like that in Australia? That's my question. Is it like that in New Zealand? Is it like people are in New Zealand or Australia, but they don't consider themselves Australian, even though they've been living there all their lives? They still consider themselves of another culture. I here in Canada, that's just the way I was programmed. Like, you are a Portuguese. And that's why I kept up with my language. That's why I have a Portuguese YouTube channel. That's why I speak to my family in Portuguese and my kids and everything. It's because I'm a Portuguese. And that's just the way I was programmed. But my question is, to you guys, in Australia and New Zealand, is it like America where after people get their stuff and their papers and their they get nationalized and stuff, do they become Australian? Do they say, I'm an Australian, or I'm a Kiwi, or do they still say, I'm from Bangladesh, or I'm from Italy, I'm Italian, right? So that's the question I want to ask you guys. I've always wanted to know that in other English-speaking countries. In the UK, is it the same thing? Do people consider themselves to be British, or are they still, again, like from another culture, right? Even though they become nationalized and they get their citizenship, right? My parents took forever to get their citizenship here in Canada. Hi.
How can I help you?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Can I get an extra large coffee with 2 creams?
Not okay?
Extra large coffee.
Perfect.
Okay, 2 cream.
You wanna go high, eh?
Yes, sir. Today, yes.
See you in a bit.
Okay, I'll see you. See, that's my brother. Everybody here that knows me is my brother. Or sister. Or whatever you want to call it. Alright, let's do this, Mike. Sorry about the stand here. Man, my lip still hurts. It's this cold. This bizarre cold's going around. It's like you beat it, then you get something else. You beat it, and you get something else. It attacks you on every angle. So that's all I wanted to really ask, guys. Because in America, it's like, oh, you ask anybody from any culture, what are you? I'm an American. Right? How are you, my brother?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm getting an XL coffee today. I gotta go buy coffee filters. Filters for the coffee machine to make my Evan coffee in the morning, my Evan diet. We ran out of coffee filters, so the wife's like, go pick them up. I'm like, oh, you didn't make my coffee today? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm not upset, no big deal. I'll just go grab a coffee here. But it's not the same, because the Evan coffee is like the best coffee you'll ever have. Alright. I'm off to Canadian Liars, guys. I'm gonna go check things out. And I got an hour till the store opens. I love opening at 11. You have all this time to do stuff and, you know, watch things and take care of business and... Let me know, guys. Are you an Australian, but you weren't born there? Because the way I was labeled growing up, I'm a Portuguese. And trust me, I am a Portuguese. Because when I come back from Canada, when I come back to Canada from vacation, I'm put right through immigration every time. Standing in line at immigration. And they're like, who's a Canadian citizen? I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm dual. They're like, oh, okay, well, we'll check you in a second, sir. Anyways, guys, let me know. I want to know that. Is it the same in Australia? Is it the same in New Zealand? Is it the same in other English-speaking countries where people that adapt nationality at a different country or become nationalized or become citizens, do they still carry their old culture with them? I carry my culture because the rich history, the food, the music, the beautifulness, the culture. You know, I'll take you guys with me to Portugal, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. God bless.